Ladies and gentlemen, aviation geeks and frequent flyers, my name is David and I'm in beautiful Sydney, Australia today, but I'm already leaving Sydney because today I'm going to take you along on a flight to Los Angeles, California on Virgin Australia. And I'm very excited to try this airline. I've never flown on Virgin Australia before. I have flown on some of the other Virgin brand airlines, such as Virgin America, back when they existed, and on Virgin Atlantic. We have done an episode of Brutally Honest about Virgin Atlantic's A350 just recently. I'm going to link that video right here in case you want to watch it. So I'm very excited to see what Virgin Australia is going to be like because of my previous experiences with Virgin brands that have been very, very good, and thus my expectations today are going to be quite high. For those of you who haven't seen an episode of Brutally Honest of this review series before, basically I believe whether a flight is good or bad isn't determined by what you get or what you don't get, but rather by whether your expectations for that flight are met or whether they aren't. For example, if you're flying a low-cost airline, your expectations will be much lower, thus it's easier to meet those expectations than when you're flying on a full-fare airline such as Virgin Australia, where you're paying more and thus also expecting more from the flight. And as always, I'm not just putting my own expectations in this video, but I've also asked you, the viewers, on our YouTube channel, on the YouTube community page, what your expectations would be, so I've included them in this video as well. If you don't want to miss those little questions where I ask you for your expectations, make sure to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. These are the expectations, some of yours, some of mine, for today's flight. We're starting off with the seat, with the cabin, and I have seen already that Virgin Australia has a 333 configuration in economy class on the Boeing 777, which means they have 9 seats per row, which is a very, very good sign that this is going to be a very good flight, because most airlines these days have 10 seats per rows on their Boeing 777s, including some of the world's best airlines like ANA or Cathay Pacific. They also have 10 seats per rows nowadays. Virgin Australia still has 9 seats, so I do expect the seat to be very comfortable and very wide, and I do also expect the legroom to be very good, because it wouldn't really make sense to have comfortably wide seats but then save money on the legroom. So we'll see about that. However, I do expect the seats to be a little bit older than, for example, the seats I've had on my flight when I came here to Sydney on Delta Airlines. I'm going to link that video right here as well if you want to watch it. Delta Airlines has brand new economy class seats on their 777. I don't expect that from Virgin Australia because the airplanes, the Boeing 777s they use on this route were delivered around 2010, so they're around 10 years old by now. So I don't expect the seats to be the latest generation, but I do think they're going to be very comfortable. When it comes to the soft product, to the catering of this flight, I do expect there to be 2 hot meals, or at least 1 hot meal and 1 hot snack before landing. The flight takes off at 11 a.m., so there's most likely going to be a full lunch service right after takeoff, then a little meal service, a little snack in the middle of the flight, maybe some ice cream, maybe a little snack box. In the best case, it would be like a hot snack, and then another snack before landing. I don't expect there to be a full-size breakfast because the flight arrives in Los Angeles at 6 in the morning. Most people are going to be probably very tired by that time and don't want to eat a huge full breakfast. So I do expect Virgin Australia to provide just a small snack box before landing as well. One of those things that I do expect from Virgin Australia is a menu card. It is something that I've experienced on Virgin Atlantic as well. They hand those little menu cards out so that you can see what's being served on this flight. It's a little feature, it's very insignificant actually, but I do always appreciate it when they offer it. And I also expect there to be some form of amenity kit, something like eye shades, earplugs, maybe just available upon request. Maybe handed out to all passengers. We're going to see about this, but I do expect it to be available in some way. And then, you know, standard features that you have on every flight. Wi-Fi available for purchase, universal power outlets at every seat, USB ports at every seat to charge small electronic devices. And yeah, I'm very, very interested to see how this flight is going to look like. So let's head to the airport, catch our flight, and let's check some expectations.
Try to run the 23 platform, all stage 2 reason behind the airport line. Please step back and allow customers to get off the train.
Dạ vâng, xin. passengers to please board now using the purple priority lane through gate lounge 58.
Yes, hello.
Thank you.
So I'm 11. Perfect. I'll just start at our
Welcome back, both 85.
Thank you.
Hi, how are you?
Ariel. Are you right?
Hello. Is served. I got the beef curry with Asian greens and rice. And there were 3 different options available for this flight. There was also an option with chicken as well as vegetarian pasta. And it was served with a little salad as an appetizer, as well as a bread roll, which is warm and fresh from the oven. Great. And also got some Australian beer. And yeah, this is the lunch service. Very interesting. I've never seen a lunch service to be served in this way. Basically, that's the tray, and then they just put everything on it depending on what you wanted. Yeah, so far looking pretty good. I'm gonna assume that the dessert is going to be served separately later. One thing that I did miss though is a kind of first little drink service with some crackers or a little salty snack, but they did hand out the water bottles before the main meal. So yeah, pretty good meal. And it looks fantastic. It actually looks appetizing in contrast to many other economy class meals that I've had in the past. That's new. An airline that plays music in the lavatories. Never had that before.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning and welcome to Los Angeles, where the local time is 5:45 in the morning on Thursday, the 6th of February. For everyone's safety, please keep your seatbelts fastened and the aisles and exits clear until the fasten seatbelt sign has been switched off.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. We have made it to, I want to say, sunny Los Angeles, but unfortunately it's a little bit cloudy here today. Anyway, Virgin Australia, wow, that was an excellent flight. Virgin Australia offers a very, very good economy class product. The thing that I enjoyed most probably were the seats, because the seats were just so tremendously comfortable to spend a night in. Because Virgin Australia only offers 9 seats per row on their 777s, each seat was a little bit wider than usual, which was very comfortable as well. They also offered a great leg room, even better than on the Delta flights that I came into Sydney on, even better than Delta. So the seats themselves were very, very comfortable, and if you decide which airline to fly on solely based on the seats, then you should go with Virgin Australia when you fly to Australia. But in addition to the seats, Virgin Australia also offered a very, very good catering product with what I believe is the most catering that you can offer on a flight of this length. So they offered 2 hot meals as well as a hot snack in the middle. For the first meal, they offered 3 different choices, including a vegetarian one, which I always want to positively highlight. I chose the curry with rice and green vegetables, which was absolutely delicious. For the snack in the middle of the flight, they served something that I've never seen on an airplane before, for a good reason, a hot dog with French fries. And the reason why you never see French fries on a plane is because they are not really the kind of food that you can prepare on an airplane and make it taste good. Because you can't really fry French fries on an airplane, so you have to fry them on the ground and then heat them up in the air. And when you heat French fries up, they get very mushy. So if you would have taken a fork and just crushed the French fries, you could have made mashed potatoes out of them, because they're not really the kind of meal that works well on airplanes, unfortunately. But it tasted good, and I did enjoy it regardless. And then before the landing, Virgin Australia offered a hot breakfast. I think they offered 2, no, actually they offered 3 different choices for the breakfast as well. I chose the vegetarian omelette with cheese. There were also scrambled eggs and bacon, and in addition to that, they also offered something sweet, pancakes, waffles, something like that. In general, this was the best catering that I could have imagined for this flight. In addition to that, they also had a snack bar. Yeah, so I chose to film this video next to the airport again. And they're doing reverse runway operations today, meaning that they will land from the sea towards the airport. Look at this. If you're ever in Los Angeles, you have to check out that beach right next to the airport. It's a great place if you're an aviation geek. And of course, the In-N-Out burger that everyone knows. Okay, where were I? Yeah, the food was excellent. Very good quality food, plenty of food available on this flight, so there is nothing more that I could have wished for. When it comes to like these special premium amenities, there were some things that Virgin Australia did not provide that I would have expected. For example, on Virgin Atlantic, the British counterpart to Virgin Australia, they offer menu cards in economy class, which they did not on Virgin Australia. However, I didn't mind that at all, because the only reason why I enjoy having a menu card on a plane is because you can make a more informed decision about what you want to eat. If they just offer you chicken or pasta, you know, it's like, what kind of pasta, what kind of chicken dish? You don't really get a lot of information from that. But if you have a menu card and it clearly outlines what the side dishes are, for me as a customer, it makes it easier to make an informed decision about which meal to choose. This is why I really enjoy menu cards. However, on Virgin Australia, and this is something that I've never really thought about, but it's a great idea to just take a flight attendant, put him on the PA system, and just tell every passenger what the meal options are on this flight. So there was a flight attendant before each meal clearly saying on the PA system what the meal options are, what the side dishes are. So I didn't really need a menu card on this flight, so I really didn't mind that there was no menu card offered. They also didn't offer hot towels, something that Delta Airlines did, for example, on my flight to Sydney. One thing that I was really missing though were universal power outlets. This is such a simple standard feature these days that you don't really expect to have a flight without them anymore. This is something, however, that I have observed on Virgin Atlantic as well, even on their brand new A350-1000. I'm going to link that Brutally Honest episode right here in case you want to watch it. Even on the brand new A350-1000, Virgin Atlantic does not offer universal power outlets, and Virgin Australia doesn't offer them either. Which I didn't really appreciate, but since I slept most of the flight, I guess it was okay. However, charge your laptop before you get on the plane if you plan to work on it, because you don't have the possibility to charge it in economy class in Virgin Australia. Other than that, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our upcoming episodes. And yeah, thanks again, and I'll see you soon for a new episode.